as has come up on the program, if you are a regular viewer, my background in education consisted of me being homeschooled across the country constantly. Never saw the inside of a classroom until I was in high school, and I loved it. And it was a pretty doggone good education, too. Well, that was slightly before computers and slightly before virtual education. And Linda Harless and Lyndsey Fry are here to talk. Please acknowledge the fact that you're going to spend a few minutes with us finding out about where another part of Arizona education is. Would you please let us know what a virtual school is to begin with?
We are a public virtual school funded by the state of Arizona. And so the students log on and they receive all their coursework. They work with a certified teacher online that monitors everything. Their parents become their learning coach, and they're able to complete their coursework. It offers a lot of flexibility. It teaches kids to be really responsible for their education.
Yeah, but the really sad thing is that whether you're homeschooled like I was because my folks are traveling, or now kids who are homeschooled or doing anything online, there's that generality that's made about, well, it must be somebody who socially is kind of inept or academically kind of a loser. Does it really apply to you, does it?
No. No, I mean, there's all kinds of kids that do it. For me, it's because of my hockey schedule, and I was doing regular school all the way up until my junior year.
Corona del Sol,
yes.
right?
Yeah, and then the first day of my junior year, I found out that I had made the USA hockey team. And, yeah, and so then there was no way that I could keep going to Corona because I was just going to miss way too many days of school.
A hockey star, a really involved student. You liked school. Yeah. You were involved with so many things, and academically, you were good enough and continue to be good enough to be accepted by Harvard.
Yeah. Yes.
That's a full round life.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about going to a virtual school or a school or classroom online, do you miss things? It just seems to me like there's something different about the atmosphere of your living room versus a campus.
Yeah, there definitely are. I mean, you do have to give up some things. You have to give up dances and a lot of the social aspects of normal high school. But for me, I was already sort of giving up all that stuff anyway. Just because of hockey, yeah. My schedule wouldn't allow me to go to dances on the weekends. And other kids, I mean, they give it all up too, but I think what you gain in the end is worth it, so.
When you're talking about this kind of a school, though, I mean, it really is a leap for a lot of moms and dads who also didn't grow up with computers and didn't grow up with virtual schools. Do you have to sell parents on this idea?
Absolutely not. Most parents that come to our school have already investigated our school, are looking for a different option, because a traditional school doesn't fit what they want for their children. They want more flexibility, or they're looking for a specific type of education. And so this is a very fast growing movement, and with social media the way it is today, kids really connect more. You know, we say kids connect in the classroom, but really how many kids are texting each other, how many kids are on Facebook. So really social connections become less of an issue, especially for today's students.
But here you are, you're going to be going to Harvard. You're obviously going to be playing hockey. Yes. For Harvard. Yes. But is this the kind of thing that works for everybody?
I think that everybody could do it. I think that, I mean, you don't know unless you try. My brother, for example, I think we never thought that he would be able to do it, but I think that we're going to give him a shot. And
how old is he?
He's 14.
Okay, so then just entering into the high school
he's a freshman this year at Corona. And I think that he could potentially thrive in it because it's different, but I think that anybody could do it.
I wound up going to high school just past 12, and I certainly wasn't a prodigy, but it was that one-on-one thing. Is that the advantage of a virtual school or an online classroom experience?
I think that is one great advantage of an online school because first of all, you can individualize the instruction to the student. They can move at their pace. They can, you know, they're not in a classroom with 30 other students, you know, trying to learn the same thing. It's just very geared to specifically targeting the student.
Yeah, but the only thing you can do if you're at home is pass a note to the dog. I mean,
or
is it
text your text other students.
But is it a lonely experience?
I don't want to say lonely, but it's very different. And like she said, though, I mean, you do have things like Facebook and texting, so I can't really say that I've stayed as close as I would have liked to with my friends at Corona.
But what about science? Now, for example, you can't have a lab in the kitchen.
There are ways to do a lot of things with like household materials, and then there's also virtual labs where you go in and there's things set up on the computer. And
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's Connections Academy, by the way, and this is available, is it not?
It
right?
is
The general public?
It is.
What about when they have students who are in elementary school? How far in advance should they be checking in with Connections? Somebody's in the 7th or 8th grade in a family. Do you have to check in with you far in advance in order to put your name on a waiting list?
Well, currently we're accepting enrollment for the school year, for the upcoming school year.
For September?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And parents can go on to connectionsacademy.com and just learn all about the school. We have parents on that website talking about the experience. We have students on that website talking about their experience.
You're afraid that maybe the kids are missing out on languages, for example, because it's limited where your kids go to school? Let me see. We have French 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have German. We have Japanese, we have Latin, Spanish, Mandarin Chinese, for crying out loud.
You might want to look at the clubs that we offer kids for
virtual clubs?
Virtual clubs for kids. We have a chess club, we have a robotics club. I mean, there's just so many things that we're trying to connect kids with each other. We have field trips that we do with the kids. We actually go out and meet the students.
How much is it going to cost me, though, to have a virtual education like this?
In the state of Arizona, nothing.
Because it's a charter school, which is a public school.
But, yes.
Listen, I will tell you right now, it's worth looking into. And a little different in drama club, because if you're doing Romeo, you're going to have to go online to find Juliet. But it's the connection that counts. I'm talking about the Connections Academy. That's how to get in touch. And I promise you, you will find it a very different kind of an education, and it might be the answer to some of the woes that we have in public education in Arizona right now. Good luck at Harvard.
Thank you very much.
And go Harvard hockey.